Hi everyone, Jamie here again with another video tour of my latest project for Heidi Swap. And this was originally posted over at heidiswap.com today, Monday, April the 15th. So for instructions, a download, go over to heidiswap.com to get all that information. But this is such indeed a beautiful adventure with this memory file album adventure that we've been playing along with for the last week. That first started with Heidi's prompts last Monday on her blog post, and I hope if you did not get to look at that yet, I hope you have time to go read up on that portion of this class. Heidi took us through the first 4 pages of this memory file album, and I followed along with the prompts as well, and she provides a downloadable list that is a last list of sorts for yourself. And it was a great way to play along and sort of take inventory of what's going on with your life right now, even in some of the little things and some of the not so little things. And so I followed along with her and included a cast of characters as well. Now I have to add here that even though I added these guys to this part of my album, in Heidi's interpretation, she added them here beautifully to this clear page. I just couldn't cover the page up. I loved it so much. I really love how with my part of the book here, you can just see through these pages and all these layers kind of pop up at you, invite you in. So let's go take a closer look at what my prompts included for you guys today. So I wanted to go with a real artsy art journal sort of feel for these pages that I'm going to show you. And also my theme was quotes. So I went with art quotes and things that I find often I've written them down or I pin them on Pinterest and they just mean something to me. This one here, I'll just talk about this one for a second. Art washes away from the soul, the dust of everyday life. It's so true. It's just such a therapeutic thing to take a book like this and to just have pure fun with it. And that's what I did, and I want to show you some details to that. So along with the artsy, journal-y kind of feel, I took a stencil, I painted with cream acrylic tape, paint on it, and added color shine splotches. I then took a piece of pattern paper and did the same thing. Same stencil, same cream, and it's my base layer here. And let me back up just a minute to show you the pages that I was privileged of working on. They're almost like their own little mini album. And this first page here has gorgeous scallop edges, has this great cutout, and has a notch here that you'll see I added this tab from the Clear Pop tabs. And I added favorite because of my favorite quotes. Back to my layers. So then I took a color pop frame and added the primrose color shine to it to give it the pink. The yellow was already on the frame. And as I prompted in my write-up today over at heidiswap.com, print out your quotes in vellum and then use those as your pieces throughout your pages of this book. And that's what I did here with this. Layered it with a butterfly, a sentiment sticker, and a label there. Also at the bottom, you know me and my layers, I've got to have the layers going on. There are clear pop banners. There is scallop ribbon that I use the primrose color shine on, as well as my own notched piece of pattern paper there as well, just to add another element. And that's my first page. Now because I have to have seam binding on just about everything I do, I took advantage of this cutout and I wrapped seam binding that I sprayed with the primrose color shine around that to give it, to add to that sort of soft, whimsical, yet still kind of an artsy feel. All right, turn the page, and this is the first full page spread that I was able and privileged to do for this assignment. And I carried the theme through. More paint with a stencil, more splatters, this time some mint as well as the primrose, and I kept that theme going on. I made a little book here, not a book, I'm sorry, I want to call it a card. It's actually a little card. It's just a folded piece of pattern paper, folded piece of vellum. And it's one of my first interactive pieces. On top of the card was another printout of vellum. And what I did here was I painted on the back side of it and laid it down to the top of this card. I used pen just to outline a rectangle around the edges. You open it up and I took a color pop tag, sprayed it with primrose, and added my theme here, create art. That's the theme of these pages, is have fun, create art, get lost in it, and enjoy the beautiful adventure. On this next page, which also continues to look like a memory file, and this even has the up tab side here, I then used, available on heidiswap.com today, is this downloadable word art. It's in PNG format. I have linked to a video where Heidi walks you through how to convert this to a cutting file. I cut this on my silhouette and I sprayed it with Primrose Color Shine. So now my title on this page reads, I love quotes. And I cut out a glitter heart to cover up the red heart because I wanted to keep it, again, soft, glittery. Something I want to kind of point out that I do a lot, especially in mini albums, mini books, something with multiple pages in it, is I'll carry a theme. So you've seen here so far, I carried this theme here to this page. And while I changed up the colors a little bit here, there's still the theme of the, between these two pages, the theme of the glitter, and there's glitter, the theme of the sequins, and there's sequins, and you'll see sequins on my other pages as well. So it's just kind of a way where I keep pages continuous with a continual congruent theme, if you will. Now on this page, I wanted to explain this a little bit closer up in my video here. And this is an interactive piece as well. It is a piece of pattern paper that's trimmed to these dimensions, rounded the edges. Before I attached it to the page, I took a color magic note, I folded an edge, and attached it around the back of the pattern paper. Then I attached it to the page. I added this little journaling label here, another label, more sequins, more notched pattern paper, and something else that I did here, because my little card was not laying down flat, I added a magnet. So there's a magnet here on the page and a magnet here on my flap, so when it closes, it actually stays closed. And I want to make sure I point that out to you and that you understood how exactly I did that. Our next page is my next full page spread. And I want to show this to you also. Now, I'm not always going to stop and print out my quote to add to my book. Sometimes I'm going to come across a quote that I know I'm going to want to have in here, and I'm just going to want to handwrite it. So I made this card, and it opens up. This is 12 inches wide here. Folded it over, and I have all this blank space just to add my own handwritten quotes, and if I want to, I could add more pages inside as well. And I made this very interactive with this clip here. It just pins in place and it's ready for me, and it still works with my real artsy, funky kind of feel here of these pages. Now my pages included this page protector that I wanted to keep real clear, so I put vellum inside before I put vellum in though. However, I sprayed the back side with Color Shine, and on the front I added these die cut letters art. I sewed on the equals, and the happy is pink paisley glitter letters. And the notched pieces that include the clear pop Banner Delights is on the outside, and these color magic hearts are also on the outside, allowing for a lot of dimension, a lot of touchy-feely, but I still have this real see-through soft look that then shows my last page. And my last page is real simple. I added a stencil and layer of paint here, as well as some Color Shine, more splatters you see, and I took the mini Insta frames. Inside each frame is a different pattern paper, and then on the outside of my Insta frames is my printed vellum with the quote. And then what I did was I sewed it on top. So that's why you could see it was still pretty loose. It's not going anywhere, but it's sewed to the page on top. And that's how I was also able to add 4 more quotes to these pages. So I hope this gives you a better idea of what happened here with my assigned pages, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you continue to go on this beautiful adventure and journey with the rest of the media team in the next weeks to come. Thank you. Bye-bye.